I can't be the only one laughing at Colin's words to get the laugh, guys.
Because we laugh at other people's pain. That's what Schadenfreude is.
That is what Schadenfreude is. All right, there we go. Okay, so hi, welcome to Basements and Besties, the Dark Lanterns of Sharn. My name is Will. William Tramp, also known as this FNGM on Twitter and all that jazz. We are here tonight to play Ian Publishing's Level Up A5E system, where we are playing our nice little campaign. It's been running for quite a while now. I think, what are we at, like 21? 22 episodes? Something like that.
This is 22.
22? This is episode 22? Hey, double digits. All right, cool. All right, well, we're going to begin tonight's episode with a real quick introduction to each of our characters. We're going to have the players introduce themselves through their characters by answering a question. Tonight's question centers around your former team captain, Valance. Now, for those of you who may just be joining in, or maybe for those of you keeping notes at home or writing a wiki page for us, why would anybody write a wiki page for us? I mean, that's our job, is to write a wiki page. Anyway, Valance is the former team captain who died on assignment in Sharn just before the campaign began, a few months before this campaign began. So you guys have been kind of rudderless since then. But tonight's question is about Valance. Tonight's question is, how did your character, what was your first real meeting with Valance? How did you meet Valance? Now, we're going to start off with one character who we already know a bit about, but we're going to start off with you, Connor. Tell us a little bit about this.
Hi, I'm Connor. I play Colton, a human warlock who made a deal with death, but he can't quite remember the terms. So, Colton met Valance. He was in a Black Lantern's interrogation room.
Dark Lanterns.
Dark Lantern's interrogation room, handcuffed to a table in the tattered remains of the clothes he was buried in after 24 hours of interrogation, and claiming to be someone who had died a year or two before. And Valance came in, sat down, looked him in the face, and said, "Welcome back, Mr. Reeves. I'd like to speak to you."
I like that. Yeah, Valance is he's an older man.
Mm-hmm.
Was an older man. Who is he's a veteran. You know,
Mm-hmm.
right? Designed to take you under the wings. And I like the fact that he would just meet with this dead man,
Mm-hmm.
and just go straight to business.
Nope.
So I love that.
Didn't faze him. It's just like, oh, says he came back from the dead? All right, cool. We'll talk to him.
Do you think his attitude is part of what won you over to
Absolutely.
join the Lanterns?
He listened.
Yeah.
He didn't say you were crazy. He's like, okay, tell me your story.
Beautiful. So he listened. I love that. Okay. Excellent. Let's go ahead now and move over to Adelaide. Or Cassie, my apologies.
Hi, I'm Cassie. I play Adelaide Oleander, a human bard whose own story has stepped outside her dragon-marred house. So Adelaide met Valance. It was after she had been exorciated from the House Orion. And it was basically like an open mic night at a bar. She was in a pretty low point, right? Like her entire life had basically been ripped out from underneath her. So she was playing at like an open mic night, and he was there listening in the crowd, and a fight broke out. And Adelaide, sort of using her charm and empathy and her wiles, sort of diffused the situation, and got everybody to, come back together and having a fun, good time, no fights to be had. And with that, he approached her. She thought he was trying to pick her up at first, but it turned out he had other plans in mind.
Excellent. And okay, what song were you singing at open mic night?
So I wasn't singing. I was playing my fiddle.
That's still a song.
I thought you said.
Oh, singing. You're right. What song were you fiddling?
So she was actually started with kind of sort of a sad, mournful song, but when the fight broke out, part of what she did was she changed her and she went more for her jigs and reels. So very fast-paced, very lively, sort of to dance to, and used that sort of music to corral.
If you had to pick
mood.
one song and give that song a name, what would you call that song?
Oh, it is the Tamlin Reel.
The Tamlin Reel. Wonderful. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and move from Cassie to Colin.
Hello, I'm Colin. I play Brock, the bugbear berserker artificer who finds life a little dull without an explosion every now and then. Brock met Valance while he was... So this would have been in 995 YK. So before the official end of the war, but after the Day of Mourning. With morale being not super great at the time, I would imagine. He was actually still... sort of recovering from his injuries on that day, and the Braylish army had him doing recruitment in Malian's Gate, the same place he had been recruited from. Understandably, wasn't getting a whole lot of takers, and so I think he was in kind of. He was sort of getting kind of depressed, but he also, I think, would have met Valance at kind of a dive down there. Who, he probably didn't let on who he was right away or Valance probably didn't let on who he was right away just to sort of gauge Brock's intentions. But yeah,
What kind of a drink did he buy you?
I think like a big thing of cheap ale, because that's I don't think he wanted to come across as somebody from the upper levels. I think he wanted to meet Brock at his level.
At his level,
Yeah.
Sure. I love that. Big thing of cheap ale and a nice conversation.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go to Sarah. Who
Oh
introduce
yeah,
yourself?
who am I? I'm a person named Sarah, and I am playing Deidre, a human rogue who is trying to find her place in a world without war. And she met Valance in the middle. She actually didn't. Her first introduction to Valance wasn't actually physically meeting him. She was in the middle of completing a job. She had scoped this guy out. He was really seemed like he'd be a great target. And because he always left the second story window open at his place, like a dummy, and he would vent it out because apparently he was making stuff inside. So he was an artisan guy. So she snuck in there, and she knew he had this specific type of stone, like an opal of some kind that was really where he was working it into jewelry. And she went to go take it, but in the case instead was a card that said, "Meet me here, here, here," and on the back it said V.
Now, here's a question: did you discover that message was meant for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the job was a job on you. It was a kind of a test.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay. I like that a lot, actually. So Valance basically tricked her into a job and used this to contact her. Okay, I love that. Okay. All right. Card with V sounds excellent. Where did he meet you?
It was in not in Clifftop. What's that other one? It's in the middle, where the artisans work.
There's a couple of different places that the artisans work.
Are you talking?
I'm not really concerned about the district.
Oh, okay.
Where did he meet you? Was it like a coffee shop? Was it a bar? Was it like in a dark alley somewhere?
It was actually like a really nice
room?
restaurant.
Ooh, really?
Like she went there completely out of place because she definitely was what?
Keep going.
Completely out of place, and he was it was a really nice restaurant, and she kind of scoped it out, and then a gentleman sitting at a table started motioning her over to the table.
Mm-hmm. Sarah, what was the name of that restaurant?
Oh, the restaurant. Oh, it was called the Sunny Side.
Oh, okay. You knew what I was sitting there terrified of.
Sure.
Oh, you didn't? Maybe you didn't? Oh, okay. There's your chance,
Yeah.
Sarah. You missed it. You missed your chance to bring it back
We're
into the campaign.
We're never bringing Everett back.
You missed your chance to bring Everett back. Yeah, you were right there.
No, it's
You
not a
could've-
fancy. It's not a fancy place.
No, it's not.
But for a poor girl, maybe it is.
Sunny Side was a really fancy place.
Wow.
I'm imagining like a
Applebee's?
French bistro.
Ooh.
French on Darien Bistro.
Yeah, an Ondarian bistro.
Now I'm hungry.
I
think
think
Everett's more
Darien
like a Denny's
Bistro.
versus
Okay, sounds good.
Applebee's.
And then last we're going to look at RJ. RJ, you were never on Valance's team. Am I correct on that?
Right.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the time you did meet him. I imagine it'd probably be somewhere maybe at headquarters or something. Will you tell me?
Well, first, I am Dennis, and I play RJ, the Warforged Adept.
Right.
Who is exploring his place in humanity while being dedicated to the defense of Breland. And his first interaction with Valance was different than everybody else because he was not recruited. He was actually introduced by Delph because at the end of the actual end of the war, Warforged were given two options. They can stay in service, or the skills that they were programmed with, they can be disseminated out and kind of reacclimated, kind of like Clix is, where the talents, work in town or work within humanity. Seeing that he really appreciated that option, he stayed in the military. And Delph introduced him to Valance because they were working on a project of basically trying to take some of the strongest Warforged that were the most observant and trying to turn them basically into walking lie detectors so they didn't have to torture or get information in more nefarious ways. They could use these Warforged more as, information siphons and people readers. And so it was kind of one of those, this is the one we're working on that may be available to you in a couple months if it comes down to you needing one.
Yeah, and one thing you would know from working with Delph so much is that one thing about Valance is that Valance was a very shrewd team count, very intelligent man, and I believe Delph, even though Delph was higher than him in the hierarchy, would have looked at Valance, I think, as probably spoke of him with a lot more, I'm not going to say deference, but a lot more respect than you've ever heard Delph speak of an underling before. Not to say that Delph is a huge jerk. I mean, he's kind of a jerk, but when it came to Valance, it seemed to be different, and so it probably came off to you as somebody who can read people really well. That Delph not only respected Valance, but there may have been that even though there's a hierarchy difference, there's some level of sameness there. Now, I'm not going to say that you necessarily were able to put your finger on exactly what that was, but when the name Valance came up, this is a name that was associated with respect.
Right.
Yeah, okay, I love that. All right. And one thing I do want to mention also, kind of to your point about Warforged being disseminated into the Breland society. Breland was the first, was really the first of the major nations to accept Warforged as people. And it was King Boronal who sued who championed the idea that Warforged, when they came to the court and ended the war and set the new laws in place, it was King Boronal who made the strongest defense that Warforged are not objects. They are in fact people, and they deserve rights like anyone else does. So it's
Exactly.
The idea of the Breland army saying you have a choice to the Warforged of join our, you can continue, stay within our society, we will find you a place here, and giving that choice, I think is really just kind of a very Breland thing to do.
And that choice is actually the reason why he actually stayed in the Force and wants to defend it, because it's one of the few places that's giving that option to his people.
Exactly. All right, so we are going to go ahead now and move into talking about the episode, or talking about what's been happening. So you have recently done a raid on the Orlantars, some Ondarian ambassadors who were holding, who may have been responsible for the death of one of your friends and one of your friends at least, Bron McGurty. This has led you into kind of an intrigue web of strange politics and strange alliances, and you broke into the Lantar Villa to steal something. Cassie, what did you break in there to steal?
The Stone of Galore.
Stone of Galore. And the Stone of Galore is the key to unlocking, you have been told at least that the Stone of Galore is the key to unlocking a very specific piece of information. What piece of information are you looking for?
The hidden location of a hidden cache of treasure left behind by Lord Ernelview, Bonel's father, that he embezzled and hid and amassed before he was run out of Sharn.
Yeah, Lord Nelvey was a city council member. In fact, I would and what I should have explained last episode is that Lord Ernelview was the city council member for Lower Central. Sava Carissa is the replacement.
Okay.
For her, which is why that drew your attention. I should have explained that before. My apologies. Now, you have gained the Stone of Galore. You believe that it may be the key to this large treasure.
Yes,
cache
Ernelview's Enigma.
Ernelview's Enigma. That's the question. Where is the money? Why do you need to find this money?
We need to find this money because an acquaintance of Adelaide's, who Lord Sidron Denieth.
Head of the Dinieth family in Sharn.
In Sharn, yes. We called upon him for a favor when our own Deidre was killed, and he was able to hook us up with a discreet resurrection.
Exactly.
But it so happens that he did this while also dealing with his own two children, who are slated to die in a matter of weeks because of a pact that he had made, and he needs the money to get out of this.
Essentially, to pay that debt off instead of using the souls of his children. It's going to be a fair sum. Now, he has offered to let you keep some. Now, you have taken this information, you have given it to Assistant Director Stover Delft, who has informed you to pursue these leads. See what information you can find out, because this is because with all the different players that seem to be popping up, this is a much bigger thing, including some of the biggest gangs in Sharn. Now, speaking of gangs in Sharn, you guys have decided to start investigating some of the leads that you found during this Erlanter job. And what are you currently investigating right now, Sarah?
We're investigating Franklin Windkeep, and we're currently in his apartment after.
Well, why are you investigating Franklin Windkeep?
Oh, we during our escape from the Erlanter Villa, I was able to nick a scroll off of a changeling, which pointed us to Franklin Windkeep as a person of interest that could be involved in the matter.
Now, the Changelings are a faction of some sort, though you're not sure who, although you have a suspicion as to who they may be, which I believe involves Cirque du Etonnement, correct? Yes. And the very gregarious Captain Maurice Botet.
That's a word. That's a word for it.
Now, Sarah was kind of hinting on this, but Dennis, we're going to have you explain this. You found Franklin Windkeep's home, and what sort of condition did you find his home?
It was ransacked. It was gone through. Clearly somebody got there before us, and as we were looking through in the open door, it looked absolutely trashed, but no sign of Franklin in there. And then when they closed the door, on the back of it was the sign of Dask.
Sign of Dask. Okay, so we open up with most of the group inside of this ransacked apartment. The sign of Dask has been painted on the door. RJ, you alone are sitting out in the alley, trying to basically keep a bird's eye view out, or at least an eye out for any potential danger or something that may happen during this time period. So we're going to go and open up the scene. You have just seen the symbol of Dask, and you are now inside of the apartment. What do you choose to do?
I'm looking for Franklin, or basically people inside.
Okay, so you're looking for and my apologies, should fully reset the stage, right? So you got this kind of ransacked, like all-purpose room, kind of living room, dining room / kitchenette combo. And then there's another door beyond. The furniture has been upended, papers are everywhere, and okay. So you're going to start looking for people and looking for signs of people in this room, or are you going to try to move beyond?
I'm going to try and go to the other room.
Okay, so you're moving to the other room to see if you can see anybody. What are you doing?
I am looking for in the main room here. I am looking for signs of like what locations they may have gone after first. Like, were they looking for documents or looking for like chests or anything? Is that something I could figure out?
It'd be very difficult to figure out what was their intent, but you could certainly you could certainly. Sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's something I'll try to do.
Okay. Sarah?
I actually looking at the scene in the main room. I want to try to see what exactly occurred. Like, did he go and answer the door and then somebody jump him? Is there blood on the ground, or was it a quick nab and grab?
You said there was a back door that's slightly ajar. I am hand on wand going to that door to take a look, see what's through it.
Okay, sure. So the two of you approach the back room, the door on the opposite side from you, and as you don't hear anything inside, as you slowly open the door, you do see that there is a bedroom beyond. You see that there's a bed, maybe a like small chest. It's been the chest's been open. You see clothes strewn out all over the place. You see the bed has been the mattress has been flipped off the bed itself. It is. You also notice that there's some like strange like equipment. Kind of all scattered about, like long poles with like hooks on it, as well as like a large work bag that's been up and with a number of tools are all over the place here. You don't see anybody in there. What I'd like for you to do is I'd like you to go ahead and give me an investigation check, Sarah. I'd like you to give me an investigation check or as well.
Would this be considered forensics?
Yeah, let's go and call it forensics.
20.
I'm looking at 17.
Okay. So I'll let you know that from what you can see, like there's not a person in here. You don't see any blood. You don't see any people, and it's a small enough little home to where it would be. You would be able to see if there's a person here. There is nobody. You with your 17, you get the idea that that the papers all over the ground seem to be the main focus, and everything else seems to be like just kind of haphazardly thrown around. Okay. With your 20, you get the idea that that the apartment, you kind of trace it along here. They broke into the apartment, started looking through the papers. Maybe they went to the back and started like trying to open up things, and then at some point, you get the impression that maybe they didn't find what they needed, and they just decided to trash the place before painting and then leaving. So you get the idea they were looking for something here, didn't find it, trash the place, I guess is the impression that you get as you look through, maybe like the impression that you get.
Okay.
You're out in the alleyway at this point. You aren't seeing anything of any particular that's particularly throwing you off here. Okay. But okay, so
I want to go to the tools and the bag to see if I can identify what kind of tools these are.
You're looking through the tools.
Shoot. I will assist her in trying to look through the tools and figure out what they are.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna look out through the windows of the place and see if there's any sight lines that like somebody could have conceivably looked in and saw what happened.
Sure. Yeah, there's one small window kind of facing the front near the door.
I actually, realizing that Franklin wasn't here, I want to try to go through his belongings and things to figure out where he frequents, so we might be able to find him.
There's a lot of belongings that I mentioned. Is there a particular area you'd like to focus on? You're looking at the papers. Sounds good. So we're going to go ahead here, and here's what you find. Two papers in particular notice catch your attention. You look out the window. There's not any particular lines of sight that really kind of catch your mind. That really kind of it's a small window, kind of dusty. Someone would be hard pressed to have seen what happened in here. There are a couple of windows that kind of point towards the alleyway itself, so it's possible somebody may have seen something, but nobody saw anything inside the building. Gotcha. Or you really, that'd be really difficult for them to do so. The two of you are really able to recognize pretty quickly that these are lamplighter tools. These tools are designed for lighting the lanterns, the magical lanterns, of continual flame and maintaining them throughout the city of Sharn. You see that in fact there is a stitch on the bag itself, on the tool bag itself, is the symbol of the Guild of Chandlers and Lamplighters.
I think we know what our friend's profession was then.
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and rejoin the others in the main room. So, lamplighter.
Give me your perception. What's your passive perception?
Passive is 16.
There's a man walking down the alleyway. He seems to be heading towards this location.
Okay. Does he look where? Can I tell if he looks wary or concerned, or if he's coming with malice? Like, can I get a sense of if he's actually walking to us, and if so, what the intent is? Whether it's question
What's
or
his general
intent.
demeanor?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so
I was trying to
give
figure
me
out the word
Give me
for
an
it.
insight check.
15.
15. Well, he's a big man with graying hair. And as you kind of get a look at him, by the way, you mentioned that you were hiding to do this. Go ahead and give me that stealth check now. That's a good thing to get. Give me that stealth check.
That's an 11.
Okay. Let me see here. Hold on. Okay. If he notices you, he doesn't give any indication that he does. Now, as he walks, he's a big man. His hands are in his pockets, the pockets of his jacket. It's colder down in the lower bits of Sharn. You see that the lamps that light this alley are kind of flickering a bit. He tends to, you notice that he kind of stops and looks at one of the flickering lanterns and kind of scowls. When he scowls, this gives him kind of more of a fearsome countenance, as you can see that he has a number of scars across his face. The way that this man seems to be moving, though, it seems like he's comfortable with the area. He doesn't seem to be walking with like super determined purpose as much as he's just like kind of but he is on a but rather somebody who feels like he belongs in this area.
Okay. I'm going to pratfall out of my hidden space, like I'm kind of tipsy, not like full drunkish, but just like kind of off kilter, and just kind of like walk kind of towards the front of the house also, so that I'm going to be crossing paths with him before he actually gets to the house. I'm not going to interrupt him, but like do kind of a big, hey, how's it going?
What's your goal here?
To make enough noise that they know somebody's out there.
Okay, so your goal is to just make noise so the others understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are inside. You two are kind of coming out the back room. You hear the sound of a hey outside. That sound from outside. What do you do?
I need to exit out the back door.
No, there's a back door. We just need to go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna try to stealthily move out of the door, if I can, to get out, because that's what I was.
Okay. You're gonna try to leave leave.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm still disguised, I believe. But I'm gonna try and walk out, as well.
Yeah. I will. Invisibility.
Okay. All right. So you yell out "A!" This man stops kind of just outside of his house, and as you do, as he looks over at you with kind of a confused look on his face, his attention suddenly goes to the fact that his door is opening and a number of people are trying to very quietly, but it's an open alley where there's no one else there. People start to walk out of his house. Apparently it's his house, because the look on his face as you walk out of his house is, what the fuck?
Call the guards quickly. There's been a break-in.
Fucking clearly! As he looks at all of you who are coming out of his house.
Are you Franklin Windkeep?
Yeah, who's asking?
Oh, my name is Lola Pinkerton. We came to see you, and the
Give
door
a persuasion check.
Okay.
Let's see if you keep his attention real quick, because he seems to be getting very agitated by this very odd situation.
19 plus 6, so 25.
Okay. He He listens. He's gonna listen for a minute.
We actually wanted to talk to you, and we know some children that you apparently know. But when we came, the door was opened. It seemed like somebody had broken in, and I'm sorry we rushed in. I was worried that you had been attacked, and so we were looking to see if anyone was hurt inside.
What are you talking about? He kind of this big graying man kind of looks past you. See his like face is covered in scars, right? And kind of looks past you, and he sees this broken doorway, and he kind of starts. He pushes past you. And goes, what? He goes, the fuck? Walks inside. No! And he starts like he's like in his house now, yelling like surveilling what's going on here.
Brock's gonna be just kind of hanging out by the door frame, like trying to kind of casually just like watching what he's doing, like watching his intent, or like other than obviously being upset about the break-in. Like, does it look like he's looking for something that may have been taken? Does that make sense?
You're trying to see like what he goes to first, like basically pulling the fire alarm to see what a mom will look for her child.
Sure. Weird metaphor, but
it's exactly what Sherlock's
Real
doing.
quick, I'm gonna let him explain his actions.
Okay.
no, I mean that's the
Let him
long
do
and short of it, pretty much.
Sure. Give me an insight check.
Okay. I'm gonna be really bad at this. Check this out.
Hey!
No, that's a 16.
Have faith, man.
He starts to go straight for the papers for the papers before he catches himself, and before he catches himself.
Okay.
Yeah. Then he just turns around and goes. He turns around and goes. Thank you. I don't know any fucking kids, but and he like you see he kind of like stops, his eyes go really wide. He's like kind of standing at his door, and you know that he's just now seeing the Eye of Dask on the other side, and his eyes go kind of wide for a second, and he goes, I don't know any fucking kids. He starts to close the door on you.
Oh, is there any way we can be of any help? I mean, it looks terrible. Do you know who could have done this?
He goes, ain't none of your concern.
I'm gonna look over to you because you were in the room that I wasn't in most of the time to try and gauge if you wanted me to keep trying to get his attention or we're okay. Okay.
He closes the door.
Yep.
Okay, he closed the door.
I wonder if Colton made it out.
Next to you. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, great.
Yeah, no, sneaking around him was on.
Yeah.
See the curtains over the window shut.
Yeah, I'm sort of doing as Dee is suggesting and moving us
Yeah.
away.
Why are
from
we
the
going
door.
away from the guy we
Yeah,
were talking to?
don't we need to talk
just
to him?
someone stay here and watch the door. Like we gotta.
Well, let's at least not look like we're just hanging out around his house.
That's what I'm saying. Can you go invisible again?
Yeah, I guess it's gonna spin me up for most of the day, but yeah.
Just make sure he doesn't leave, and if he does,
I'm going ahead and I'm walking away because I made myself so known to him. I don't want it to look like I'm creeping around his door.
and I'm
Okay,
going
you
to
know
be
what?
following her.
He didn't see me. I will walk away from the door, but keep it in line of sight and just kind of find like a wall to lean on or a bench to sit on because he didn't see me. So I'm just kind of I'll keep an eye out on the door, kind of away from his apartment.
And then we're walking away. I'm gonna give you guys the two key pieces of information I found. Apparently, he's not what he seems to be. And we got a Glinda something we gotta look for now.
Now, for the people at home who didn't read those,
I was gonna say,
She typically reads them.
regarding the need for alternative sources of material, make contact with Galinda Garl of Ship's Towers. Use all caution and do not reveal your true heritage, as she is allied with the Oni that possess certain risks for us now. PK.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. Right?
To Franklin Windkeep of Quill Alley. Please accept this token of our appreciation for the great services you have rendered us. PK. This is the same as this.
Yeah. Also talks about heritage.
Alternative sources of material. True heritage.
Mm-hmm. Means he's not what he seems, yeah?
What does he seem? All we know is that he's a guy that lives in a house down here.
He might not just be a guy. Obviously. True heritage. Like,
It could be half demon for all I care. He literally is a guy down here that we can literally go talk to.
yeah, but he doesn't want to talk to us. We didn't really give him a whole lot of reason to talk to us, did we?
We didn't really push very hard.
Well, yeah, no. What are we going to do, though? We're going to walk in there and go, hey, talk to us now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You want to do that? Go do that. Let's go rough this guy up.
Nobody said anything about roughing him up. I walk back to where Colton is and I'm like,
Colton, you can confirm that no one's left the house.
Been quiet. It's almost like he's a guy that just found out his house has been ransacked and he's a little freaked out.
I go up.
Who all is approaching the house? Let's just get that out of the way.
I'm still gonna hang back so that he doesn't have 5 strangers just at his door.
Okay. You go in and you hear a door kind of creaks open a little bit, and you see Franklin kind of peering out. He looks very upset, and he goes, "What?
Okay. You're being coy, we're being coy.
Are you done acting? Oh, the fucking Warforged, you done acting drunk?
Yeah.
Warforged don't fucking drink.
Yeah,
Fucking weird.
Idiot. I'm an idiot, okay? I was just trying to make sure they didn't get killed by somebody that had obviously been in your house already. Something's going on. You're not particularly happy. We were here to talk to you about a couple things.
Yeah,
Give us-
kids, I heard.
Yes, and other. Give us 5 minutes of your time. If you don't want us around after that, we'll leave. But obviously, you're in some shit that we may be able to help.
I give a persuasion check. Oh, with disadvantage.
Okay.
Because you tried to lie to him.
Yes.
Yes.
Is he out of place in society?
Nope.
Okay. Then.
No. In fact, he's very at home here. This is literally his home. Yeah.
That's a 3.
Yes. He kind of looks you up and down and goes, "I can't fucking believe that." And he starts to close the door. He starts to close the door in your
I'm
face.
gonna catch it.
You catch it?
Yeah, with
All
my
right.
man. Look, I know you said we're gonna stop being coy, so let's stop being coy. We're not any friends of Dask, and you're clearly not either. I think maybe we can help each other out here. They clearly came here looking for something. We want to know what it is, and we want to get him off your back.
Just give this to me here. Give me an opposed strength roll.
Okay. Love that. Just strength, right? 22.
Yeah. So he is kind of as you're talking, he's pressing his body weight again. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't budge. I imagine
he's casually carrying on this conversation like not even.
Yeah, and as he so he lets go of the door, realizing that it's not going anywhere. He's kind of his eyes are really wide, looking at you, kind of looking at you, and particularly goes, "Who the fuck are you?"
We're friends. How about that?
And also, not on Dask's good side either.
Fine, come in.
Thank you. And I'll walk in.
He's backing up. He's clearly unnerved by your strength.
I wave Colton in, so he comes too.
So you can find yourself in your apartment. He's eyeing y'all very warily. He does not have a friendly countenance to him. And he seems a little actually more intimidated than anything else right now, based on that show of strength.
You have any tea or anything? You want some tea?
No, this ain't fucking. Let's chill out and have a happy little powwow time. What the fuck do you want?
Why did Dask come and ransack your home?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah,
he's lying, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's definitely lying.
You do know, and this isn't gonna go anywhere if we're not clear with that. Okay, like we said, we are no fan of Dask. We assume they were probably after very similar things we are interested in. We could probably get them off your back. But we need to know specifically what you may have had or information they were looking for, because you know what they were looking for.
That's the thing. I don't know what they're looking for. but I know what they I know what they took.
Okay, that's a place to start.
Yeah. Look, I'm just a lamplighter. All right, years ago I may have been somebody. All right. He used to roll with a crew called the Bloodhawk Posse. They're a group of brigands, some might say. But look, I've paid my debt to society. All right. I got really drummed out of the gang after the botched raid.
We keep one of those with us, so I get you. Not same gang.
Oh yeah, which crew you roll with?
What? I don't roll with any crew.
Then what the fuck are you saying to one of us?
What?
We ain't the same. Fucking hell. Jay, all criminals are the same as... Get out of here. Whatever. Look, the point I'm trying to make here is... The point I'm trying to make... by the way, it's very clear he wants nothing to do with you.
Yeah, I'm guessing that.
Yeah, you're not going to get more persuasion checks. You have given him your impression.
Yeah.
Because I was part of this crew, Bloodhawk Posse, right? It's a lot that left behind, right? A long time ago. But I was approached by we'll call him my employer, who knew my past and and pointed out that maybe I hadn't paid my debt entirely to society. And in exchange for keeping my little secret there, he wanted me to hold messages that be passed through here.
Okay.
Such.
As he's talking about his employer, I want to do my ability detect thoughts on him.
Okay. So, and you don't need to touch him or anything, correct?
I don't need to touch.
And no save unless you dive deeper, right?
Yes, unless I dive deeper.
Okay. So, wait, there's no save unless you dive deeper?
What you're saying takes something. As long as he's 5 feet in front of me. Yeah, probing the mind, succeeding on an intelligent charisma sleight of hand. Okay. Opposed. So yeah, they do oppose with a wisdom insight. If you succeed, creature doesn't realize their mind is being probed.
Okay. Are you looking at the spell? Or are you looking at the ability? We need to look at the spell to see how the spell works. Because that's how you hide that you're doing it from him. So you're right. If you want to hide that you're doing it, which is your dragon mark,
right.
What you need to do is give a sleight of hand versus his what?
A sleight of hand versus his wisdom insight.
Wisdom insight. Okay, great.
That's going to be sleight of hand. Oh, I'm just proficient in that. I would like a reroll, please. Oh, that's going to be an 8.
Her mark starts to glow from beneath her body. This is very visible to all of you as her mark begins to glow. And as you do so, the thoughts of everyone in the room appear, but and you get from him immediate fear because he's looking at this glow coming from your body and seeing kind of the faint image of this mark kind of coming through your armor, like glowing that hard, glowing that brightly. And he kind of stumbles back and goes, "What the fuck? You're one of them, aren't you?" The stories of the Bear and Dragonmark people are well known throughout the city of Sharn. And he kind of stumbles back and goes, "You're one of them, aren't you?"
Yeah, and what's on his mind? Because they still do
Fear.
need to know that. Oh, but I get, okay. Alright, fair.
You learn the surface thoughts. Fear. Oh no. And a Bear and Dragonmark. Oh no. It's exactly what he's saying.
Okay,
If you want to dive deeper, you need to push it. But right now you haven't done that. So that is what you know. Fear, and he says this to you.
Yeah, and I can push deeper unless you're going to be open with us about what's going on and give us who the employer is, what exactly is going on here. Otherwise, I'll get more information.
All right, give an intimidation check with this. You have advantage because you can see the dragon mark on you.
15, so 14. 14.
He opens his mouth for a brief second and then just shuts it. And then the fear is replaced by defiance.
Okay.
In his mind. And he just kind of shuts it and goes.
And then I'm going to try to probe deeper.
Okay. So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes. against my
Spell save.
spell save DC, which is intelligence.
What's the DC?
That's why it's 13, 15.
15. Okay. You get an immediate flash of visions. You get a flash of you feel the cold chill the cold chill in the air. You see a sea before you. You see numerous sailing ships kind of moving across the horizon. Moving across the horizon. You see mountains, cold mountains, and you see standing at the mast of one ship, or not the mast, but like kind of at the figurehead of one ship. You see a changeling in a big captain's hat, with his big feather on it, and the ship is filled with changeling sailors, and you hear the words cross the words cross his mind. Gray tide. Gray tide. That is what you see in his mind.
Cool.
So he's let's see here. Failing gain insight, its emotional state, succeeds spell ends either way. Target knows that you're appropriate. So he at this point staggers back and he's clutching at his brain now as she pushes further, and he knows that you're pushing further. Yeah. And he's like, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?
Well, you didn't want to give it to me willingly. I had to figure it out some way.
Look, this is getting very out of hand. Your past is your own. We just want to know what's going on in the present so that we can take care of them and get them away from you. We have no ill will towards you.
Yeah. Okay. At this point, you're trying to persuade after she's just literally torn into his brain. So I'm going to give you one last chance here. You're going to give a persuasion check with disadvantage.
So 13 plus 6 would be 19. I'm going to go ahead and use Intrepid.
Okay.
22.
He you see like he's tensing up, like he was about to launch himself at her, and then he just kind of like maybe it's your powerful words of persuasion, or maybe he like realizes how outnumbered he is, but you see him just sort of like he slumps into his chair. Fun. The fuck do you want to know? Just ask your fucking questions and get the fuck out.
Who is you said your boss, your employer, the one that's
Prince fucking Kell. Prince Kell of the Grey Tides.
Prince Kell of the Grey Tides.
He's one of the great pirate captains of the Lazar Principalities. That's where my crew used to operate on the land, leading raids on the dwarves of the nearby Moorholds.
Has he been taking on an alias here in the city?
He's a fucking changeling. Likely he has.
All right.
Okay.
But I don't deal with him directly. I typically deal with Big, or Fi, or Sol.
We're aware of who they are. Yes, some of them. You said you knew what Dask took.
Missives left here by one of those three.
Because you were holding the missives.
Right.
Do you know who the missives? They were coming from Prince Kell. Do you know who they were to?
To Fi or Big or Soul. They come here.
I see.
They contacted me just a day or so ago. It hasn't been going on for very long.
All right.
Or a few days ago. My apologies. A few days ago, things kicked up quite a bit. But usually it was just they just passing out. I don't read them. I'll skip my coin, and I don't look at them. You ain't get paid enough to know that kind of information. But recently, it's like they've been using me more and more. There's like something's going on. I followed Big once. just to try to maybe see if I could understand something. And I follow them back. They seem to be big. He's the younger of the three. After dropping off and picking up some messages, he went back to there's a circus in town.
Yeah.
Cirque du.
Etuma.
Is that how you pronounce that? I kept saying atonement.
I believe it's Etuma.
Etunma.
Etuma.
He spends 5 minutes of trying to get his pronunciation right. He doesn't. Fuck it! It doesn't matter. Why don't we spend so much time on that?
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Right. Okay.
So essentially just a secure missive and message transport.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And Dask has taken them.
And Dask wants in on the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well. Sir, we appreciate your time. We apologize for the suddenness of the call.
You can see that he's kind of like not really hearing those words as much as he's just like glaring at D here, and has been pretty much most of this conversation.
Friends, I think we can probably take our leave then.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we've overstayed our welcome enough.
Indeed.
Okay.
Just like any job you're doing for somebody else, information is worth coin. He puts 10 down, then he puts another stack 5. And you do know some kids, and we appreciate what you've done. And RJ walks out.
10-5 of what?
Gold.
Oh, his eyes go real wide at that. Okay. And anything else, or do you guys take your leave?
Tip of the hat.
Mm-hmm.
Good day. I'm gonna sort of
Do
try.
you leave too?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you leave?
Come on.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so you guys head out the door. All right, so you have this information. You spoke with them, and managing out with the notes, with the notes that Das stole on hand.
Now, if I were a gang of Dask hoodlums, fresh out of ransacking an apartment, which way would I go?
I mean, I don't know, but that has a name on it we could follow up on.
Galinda Gall of Ship's Towers.
We also can go directly back to Botet and talk to him as
I
well.
was gonna say, we could
Is
go
that
discuss.
really? I mean, it seems like we're kind of at odds with him right now.
Yeah, that might
Well,
solidify.
hold on. We're assuming we're at odds with Great Tide, but we may not be.
Yeah.
True.
What did you see?
Oh, yeah. Well, I relay what I saw, so not to repeat it, but
Does the hat and getup sound familiar?
Yeah, it's Captain Murder's Botet's get up.
Okay.
Okay,
It's the same hat.
So Botet is.
Yeah.
Is Kel.
yeah. So, I mean,
Maybe we don't walk into the stronghold of another group of people who are, trying to get what we now have a piece of.
yeah. I'm just saying they also didn't really try to kill us. If they were the ones taking it, they gave us warning after warning. And
They shot me a few times.
yeah, after they said, I don't want to do this, that seems to be, a thing of, I don't want to hurt you, but I'm going to have to.
Let's be. I mean, I hate to say this, but we know we cannot ally in with Dask.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling like you want to ally with the bad half of the.
No.
So, if we wanted any allies in this search, Grey Tide would be at least the one we've already done business with.
What would we offer them to get that alliance? Like, they're obviously after the money, same as we are.
Do we know exactly how much of that treasure will be needed to save the kids?
I thought it was all of it.
Well,
Vast majority of it.
most of it.
Okay. But most of it isn't all of it. And I believe Botet is a person that profit for less work might be enough.
Yeah, but if the profit we offer is significantly less than what the whole...
But he's 2 steps behind already. Something out of nothing might be enough.
I'm not saying it's not an angle, but...
Either that or we're fighting 3 gangs.
I mean,
And gonna get our
convincing it
hands
down would
handed
make it
to us.
easier for us. So, and also like, money's money. We can give him different money, not that money. Services rendered.
Or tell...
Right, I'm not sure. I get where Colton's coming from, that it may not be enough to pay him off if he's thinking that they're going to get this great wealth of Nelvio.
And as a reminder, the wealth of Nelvio is what, about 1 million gold?
Yeah.
Million Gallifers. So
And I feel like we were,
Speak.
what Lord Sidron had offered us was like 5,000.
I believe he offered you 10%.
Or
10%.
10%, okay.
Oh, then why don't we just save the kids and give them our cut?
Or 10,000, not 10%, 10,000.
Oh, well then that's way less.
That's very little. I mean, comparatively.
Yeah. I mean,
Also, are we really talking about cutting another criminal gang into... I mean, I still don't know how we're possibly going to explain this to Delph.
what are you talking about? Cutting in another criminal?
Delph already knows that they're involved, remember? He
Just
even
didn't know
said
who they were.
to get proof, we could even offer at least a little bit of leniency, depending on if...
Delph doesn't know about our deal with the Danaeth.
It's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to
And-
kind of...
He wants us to go. He wants us to. The reason that he has signed off on Nelview's Enigma is because he thinks we're going to get 1 million Gallifars of taxpayer money back into the coffers of the crown.
And which is why we didn't want to mention it at the time, but we did.
Well,
So now we're playing for 2 bosses, and we got to figure out how to sort that out.
and that's very likely his intent. However, if we're operating on his words, Delph never said, bring me that money. He said, keep it out of the hands of the gangs. That was his specific request, because his big thing is that if that nearly 1 million Gallifars were to land in the hands of any of these gangs, it tips the tides. Suddenly, the big clan on the block isn't the Bormer clan. It's one of these less pliable gangs.
But let me just say, that is the best thinking I've heard come out your mouth in a really long time. So, choice. Using the words of Delph against him. Great. Totally down.
I'm just saying
I'm
that's
sure
what
he will find that extremely amusing
Oh,
right before we get court-martialed.
Oh, yeah, but I don't care. That guy deserves a big one. So...
I'm just saying it is also worth noting, as we're talking about potentially giving...
What our mission was set forth. You're correct. You're on top of it.
I'm also saying we're talking about, like, giving not, like, 1 million Gallifars, but, 5 or 10,000 potentially to this gang of Prince Kel. That's also giving a somewhat large sum of money to a gang. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Here's a quick question, real fast, just for my own edification. You guys left his apartment.
I'm assuming we're not having this conversation.
No, I'm
right
curious
outside.
where you're having this very,
Yeah.
very secret conversation where you're talking about various details. Where
Yeah.
do you have this conversation right now?
Private alleyway.
a
Yeah,
private...
somewhere.
somewhere.
Honestly, I forget it was ducked in an alleyway.
A
which
secluded
isn't actually
corner.
particularly
Aren't you in an
secure.
alleyway right now?
Yeah,
I mean,
different
not
one.
This is
not
the alley.
same
Yeah.
one.
There's
A
multiple
different
alleys,
one. A different
Will.
soundproofed alley, Will.
Yeah, different.
What's
Can you
so hard
find
to
us a
understand?
rooftop?
Yeah, I'll find you a rooftop. I can get us there without even
Sure.
mentioning it.
Okay.
There
So
we
you
go.
guys moved. It's like the last thing we heard is we walked directly outside the door.
Well, if you want,
The door that doesn't close.
if you want to take a coin so we can edit.
I would
the
love to have
situation,
that coin,
there
actually.
You go.
That makes a lot
There
of
we go.
sense.
No problem.
So you wouldn't be on an alleyway. Okay. So you have found a secret place to have this
a
conversation.
secret
Continue.
rooftop. Having a conversation about this.
So the only issue with all this is we do still have a little bit of information on one or two others as well. So we know PK is Prince Cal, which is
Yep.
actually kept moist, but as we've tied all of that up with a nice little bow and can put it off to its side.
Yeah.
But there was, am I misremembering? There were a couple other names that we had.
Yeah,
We have the
there's-
one we just got.
Yeah, but there's also a lady that rumored to have an eye down in Fallen.
It's true.
you're thinking about Kabbalah.
Yeah,
Come
that
on.
one.
Right.
So we could follow up on that one. But I would like to add that as long as all the groups are in there, all in play, actively looking, we're still competing against all the same firms in part of this little chase that we have.
So the idea is maybe we extend an olive branch to Captain Motet, Prince Kel, so that we at the very least are not directly competing with him. Is that what I'm kind of getting here? We find an olive branch to this,
Yeah.
even though
We'll give you 10,000 to just sit back and not be involved or help us in some way.
It's
But the
also
issue
really
is-
easy to backstab one at the end, than have to deal with 3 throughout the whole thing.
Whoa. I don't make backstabbing deals.
Congratulations, you're in the service of.
Oh, I thought you meant he was going
Hold
to
on.
backstab us.
Here's a
Yeah.
thought. Here's a thought as well. Okay, Prince Kel, Grey Tides, famous pirate group. Yes,
Yeah.
bad fellas. We
So,
could-
and real quick, do you mind if I
no.
explain? So, Lazar Principalities is a group of different princedoms,
Mhm.
each of which owns their own like fleet. They used to be pirates. Now they've kind of legitimized after the last, and kind of legitimized during the last war, during that time period, and became their own full nation rather than questioned by. Grey Tide seems to be one of these principalities.
Okay.
So
are they
it's
almost like-
recognized.
Is this like merchant ships, kind of?
No, they're pirates who have turned legitimate.
I wonder why.
So maybe it depends on which one it is.
I wonder why Prince Kel needed to have a messenger to go back and forth with people who are also on his ship.
Probably wasn't on his ship.
That's actually a real good point. Because if it is Maurice Botet, he was there, and so is Big and the others.
And they're also specifically talking about different materials, so what materials are they talking about? That's why I'm saying we can follow that lead and go talk to that lady about materials and what it is
I
they're
would say
doing.
maybe let's do that before we
Approach
throw
a
ourselves in front
direct
of
competitor.
Right. Well, because my other thought is clearly Captain Maurice Botet, Prince Kel, whatever the hell his name is, has been doing some shady things here in town, and if we can get enough evidence even just to send the guard after him and remove him from the equation, that's also an option.
So just to kind of give you guys a heads up, maybe to contextualize this. Prince Kel would be the leader of a foreign nation.
International incident. Cool.
Well, the leader of a foreign nation, and so what you're want to be clear that you understand what you guys are discussing about, like trying to key him in on the deal. You would be empowering a foreign nation
Oh, yeah. That'd be
Makes
bad.
to
sense, yeah.
funds that Breland has charged, as Collins had charged you with getting back. And it's, if I'm not mistaken, you have seen members of this group conduct what is effectively, basically has what could have been an international incident on your soil.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so I just want to be super clear you understand what you're doing here, because I don't want there to be any surprises about this.
Yeah.
You are talking about what's that word I'm thinking of?
Is it
Treason.
treason?
It's treason. That's the word you guys. That's the
Yeah.
thing you guys are discussing right now. So making sure you really fully understand what you're saying by doing this is that it's bordering potential treason. Just so you know.
That's kind of why I was turning the conversation more back towards, hey, maybe we just look at a way to get this guy out of the equation by bringing the authorities in. Because, yeah, if he's a leader of a foreign nation conducting violent assaults on Braylish soil,
That guy gets it.
maybe we start there and hello, one domino removed from the equation. I throw like this little rock
I'm going
up
to
and
use
say,
Delph's favorite word, evidence. Evidence of the changeling prince that we're going to then
which he won't
tell
give
them
us
to send
receipts
guards
for.
over.
He won't give us receipts for the automaton. We can't 100% prove he was in the Atlanta villa, and we can't prove what he is because I pulled it out of this dude's mind, and he's not going to talk to nobody.
Well, I do think if we're looking for evidence, maybe looking into Galinda Garl of Ship's Towers.
Yeah.
And it does seem that, so this missive, now we know, he wasn't talking about true heritage for Franklin. It's clearly either Phi or Big or Saul.
Yeah, the fact that they
that
changed
this was
it.
meant for.
And from the principality, yeah.
And so
However,
probably no changelings.
we may have slight upper hand.
Oh.
Because if Franklin had this, and you took it from his house,
Aye.
that means it didn't get to its recipient.
Oh.
We may be a step ahead. Possibly. I don't know, but possibly.
So we go to Glenda and we talk about what are we going to pretend to be some changelings? Go in, or are we going to just be nice and get information from this changeling?
Do I know where Ship's Towers is?
Ship's Towers is a district in Cliffside, actually.
Oh, hey, close
Ship's
to home.
Towers is you got Grey Flood, Sharn's Welcome, Ship's Towers right here. That is down there on the waterfront.
Right. Well,
Can I see that missive, by the way?
This one?
The one that you keep. Yep.
At some point during this conversation, the Brock's disguise would have dropped. He probably doesn't notice.
hey, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reading that, do I know what an Oni is?
That was where I was going with this. I was like,
The Oni is another thing we could probably look into. Because
Give me a knowledge of Arcana check.
Okay. 13.
A demon.
Oh.
An Oni is like a from what you, like a demon some sort of like demonic spirit made manifest. You heard them as children's when you're a child, tales from your mother as she puts you to bed. Don't sneak out of bed at night, or otherwise an Oni will get you.
It's a very cute image.
Learn your rules.
Yeah. Okay. That's concerning.
Well, also, I think to answer your earlier question, do we pose as a bunch of changelings? The answer is probably definitely not. If he's saying, don't reveal your true heritage, because that could pose a risk.
but we do know 3 changelings that we know their names that we can pose as. It
Well,
means-
I don't know if they use their names. If we can figure out their names and then figure out what name they're using, or disguise, we can try to disguise ourselves as that changeling going to her.
First and foremost, we should find out just who this person is.
Galinda.
And I believe that note does give you some information about who she is. Am I correct on that?
There's materials.
I feel like there's more information that's on that note that's kind of being overlooked here.
Okay.
Like it's been hinted at, but I feel like you might want to go over that real quick
Regarding
one
the
more time.
need for alternative sources of material, make contact with Galinda Garl of Ship's Towers. Use all caution and do not reveal your true heritage, as she is allied with the Oni, and that poses certain risks for us now, PK.
So, yeah, okay.
Make contact.
Make contact.
Yes.
Which means they're not allies yet. Which means they don't know what those 3 look like.
Right, which is what I'm saying.
Or who those 3
Well,
are in the first place.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we might not even need to. It wouldn't make sense for us to pose as them if, she's not expecting them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but to make contact, they could have already had a prearranged thing to say contact this person. So sorry about that.
Your thinking wasn't bad, but no, yeah, I agree. Sounds like we may have a bit of an open blank slate we can work with.
Step 1 is, let's see if we can find out who Galinda Garl is.
Always. Yeah.
And not get sacrificed to Onis.
Right.
Are good people typically side with humans?
Not typically.
I mean, I've known tieflings in the past.
Do I do it? Do I know of any way someone becomes allied with a tiefling, or do they summon it and control it?
With a
You mean
T.
with
No,
Oni.
an Oni. I'm sorry, with an Oni.
First of all, let's establish what you even know about Oni
Okay.
in the first place.
Okay.
So you're gonna give me a knowledge of Arcana.
Okay. It's intelligence. I am not proficient in, so it's just a 3, a 5.
Probably like it's the same way any demonic worship happens, right? Like blood sacrifices and blood sacrifice deals, or like, altars.
It's pretty some dark stuff there.
Yeah.
It's not for me. Ugh.
In fact,
let's
just get this part out of the way real quick. Why don't you three also give a check on Oni's?
Sure.
Before we continue, and then somebody goes, wait, what do I know? Let's just get this out of the way.
Okay.
16.
Oni are not demons.
Okay.
They are actually a true race of beings that have some demonic connotations, but they're really also known as ogre mages. They're kind of basically a type of in Eberron. They are a type of basically a rare type of ogre. Often with sort of maybe there's some demon blood intermingled, but they have a lot of magics that they are kind of inherently born with. I like to think of Oni as kind of like that once in a blue moon ogre that's born under an auspicious sign, that is, rather than being big, dumb, and brutish, and is kind of more big, strong, but also wildly intelligent and filled with magics. And they are often found in the country right next to yours.
Drone?
Drome. They're often found in Drome, or at least, which is why many people but then again, Drome is filled with monstrous people.
So Oni aren't actually demons more so than they're ogre mages.
Okay.
They're not really demons.
Less scary. All right.
Could be just as scary, but for different reasons.
Well, you two have heard wildly differently. They are definitely demons.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Not demon. Got it. So be nicer.
So.
I mean, we should be nice, probably, just across the board.
So
Not gonna hurt.
This person has allied themselves with this race of particularly unique ogre people,
or just one.
Right, we're not quite sure from the context.
If that is
True.
What's
singular
the
or
beef
plural.
with Prince Kel? Why is that a problem that she's allied with this guy?
Politics, probably. Bad to assume.
Or this Oni is another player that's looking for the Enigma.
Oh, God, yeah.
What's
For an
wrong with him?
enigma, a lot of people seem to know a lot about it.
What
Or at least know
material
about
is he needing? That's so weird. If he's
What?
what material
what
is he needing? It's just what material do you need?
Well,
That's bugging me. Because it doesn't make sense with anything. It's not like he's looking for an eye, not looking for a stone. He's asking for about materials.
Well, I think, again, we need to know who Galinda Garl
Yeah.
is if that's where they're seeking alternative materials.
Feels like the kind of thing where if we ask around and find out, Galinda
Specializes in iron ore.
is a goldsmith or
Yes.
something. It's maybe they need gold for something.
Right.
So yeah, I think maybe before we go drawing any more conclusions, we do a little bit of what we do best, arguably, which is gather information.
we found Frank. We'll find
So do we want to go to Ship's
Ship's
Towers
Towers.
and start collecting?
Yeah,
I'm down.
What time of day is
yeah.
it?
It's,
How many hours have we spent?
it's probably about 1 in the afternoon. It's been about 5 hours thus far.
Yeah, we could probably still do so today.
We've got time.
Okay.
that seems like a lead to me.
Let's roll.
Let's hitch a ride.
Okay. So you're choosing to take a sky coach over.
I think
You
so.
say hitch a ride. Okay, it's going to be 3 silver pieces. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you are heading...
We are currently still in the little woods, right? So what would that walk be if we walked? Because we're in...
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I know where you are. You're right here.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get to here.
Yeah.
Which is 1, 2, which is
Oh,
cross, three wards. 3 wards, which it'll take you an hour and a half to walk there. Or you can take a sky coach. It's effectively the same distance as it was from North Towers to here.
Gotcha.
Or as it was from Clifftop to here.
I just knew we were in the same ward, so I wanted to figure that out before we were just let's jump into the...
You're on the same level, but it's across town and through Duro, which is the biggest, most heavily populated, hardest to move through district. So moving
Perfect.
through Dura always counts like 2 wards.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dura is...
What do you mean? It's where I'm from.
Yeah, it's a lot of walking.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys are...
It's not from the sewers.
So it sounds like you guys are going to take a sky coach. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay, 3 silver apiece. All right. So you find yourself headed towards ship's towers. So, Cliffside. Okay, so most of the traffic within within ship's towers, which is right on the coast of the Dagger River, most of the traffic here consists of sailors that you see in search of entertainment. You see bars, flop houses, and small shops, many of which don't even bother to advertise the nature of their business, line the street, which winds precariously along the edge of a steep cliff overlooking the river. Now, a large chunk of the river here, the riverside, is being taken up by Cirque du Étonnement, which is located in the Ship's Towers district.
Yeah.
So you hear the sounds of the circus happening, and you are in this district now.
Yep.
Okay.
Seeing the giant circus, maybe we should move without being seen at this point.
Let's keep our heads down.
Yeah.
Just act natural.
She's looking at your very big body and like.
He hunches down a little bit.
I'm gonna go ahead and sort of step, and I'm gonna cast another disguise self, but I'm gonna cast it at a 2nd level, so it lasts 8 hours.
Sure. What what's the overall vibe you're going for?
I'm gonna go with the different looking, but still like the Margrave student.
Margrave student. Okay, going for a student. Gotcha. Cool. Anybody else want to make any other preparations before you take action in this district?
No.
Is it worth it to spend an hour getting disguises set up, do you think? If we're going to be operating that close?
Last time we were here, we were allies, or at least not enemies. And the time that they've interacted with us, we were in disguises. So we should be able to work around just fine.
They recognized us though. That's why they said, "You."
Here's the thing, though. We also, to meet the people that we met, had to go seeking them out. If we're just walking the grounds like normal, they're not just going to be standing around and see us. So.
Yeah, I mean, if we move sneakily through the city without being seen, then we're fine. I need to know the location of where we're going, and then I can get us there without being seen. That's it.
We don't have a load. We have to go.
But what I'm saying is we're really close by people that recognize us in the Atlanta Villa, and even pointedly said.
Nearby, 2 shifters are arguing in the street. You know that one of them snarls and sharp fangs start to extend from her gums. This is just about 10 feet away from you.
Mm-hmm. Let's want to go ahead and get walking.
Okay, so we're just asking about this Galinda person.
A fight starts to break out
Okay.
between the 2 shifters.
Do the rest of the shifters or do any other shifters go towards them?
A bunch of people are starting to move towards you guys now because there's a fight happening. People are starting to circle up.
We should move.
So
Yeah.
we move.
Yeah.
What do you head off to do in this district?
I'm gonna just be moving with my head down, trying not to get attention, but I want to be listening for the name of Glinda to try to figure out if I can get it that way, because otherwise we have to open
Probably not. Unless the people are openly talking about this person, the chances of you finding that way, I'm going to just tell you, it's going to be very slim to none. Anybody want to take a proactive?
Yes,
move?
outside of the circus and their boats, we're on a wharf.
Sure.
Or we're on an edge. Are there other boats in either direction that are grouped up kind of near a docking, near a sea tavern, near anything that would be a
so there
like
so
a
I want you
meeting,
to imagine like
a
a kind
general
of
place.
like a big pier, right? And the buildings are all built into the cliffside here.
Yeah.
And then there are boats on this side. None of the boats are near them because you got that like big thoroughfare in between where the ships are and where the buildings are. But the whole area is just filled with people going about their day. So usually when but what's your intent?
I was gonna say then what I would say is as the group of people throng towards this fight, I would kind of start to drift away from the circus down the wharf and looking for what looks to be like a rather busy tavern, someplace that obviously has in and out traffic going in.
Easily, you find a place with people.
Perfect.
Great.
Once in, well, I'm assuming, hopefully somebody follows me in, but
I'll
once
help
I'm
you.
in there, obviously, I'm gonna go up and I'm actually just gonna get a place at the actual bar spot.
Let me stop you real quick. I'm gonna ask. Here's the question I need answered. What is your intention?
I'm gonna try to talk up the bartender or somebody at the bar to find out if I can locate.
So you're gonna start trying to see, ask around.
Yes.
Trying to find Glinda. Sure. Okay. Great. Is that something you guys are gonna join in?
Yes.
Sounds great. So you find yourself a tavern, we'll say, where there's a number of taverns. And there's a bunch of taverns all across. This is an entertainment district, so there's no shortage of taverns here. But the approach you're taking is that you're gonna talk to people to see if you can catch on the name Glinda Garl. Okay. So this is gonna take. Let's go ahead and see how much time this takes, and we're gonna assume that time goes on as you guys are potentially bouncing around until for as long as it takes. Well, it doesn't. Here's what I need. I need a group charisma investigation check. Group charisma investigation.
And this would not be considered gathering rumors, correct? I would assume not.
You know what? I will allow that.
I rolled a nat 1. Do we have a coin? Can I re-roll?
Yep, we got one coin left.
One left.
Well, not much better.
Darn.
Okay, what'd you get?
8.
That's 24.
19.
7.
18.
Wonderful. You two, oh, this is wonderful. Your two characters are overwhelmed by a ridiculous amount of shirtless sailors trying to impress you with their manly sailing stories. However you react to that is how you react to it. But overall, it's quite. I imagine it's makes doing what you're trying to do very difficult. As most of these men seem to be mainly interested in flexing and telling you how lonely they're going to be on their ships when they have to leave tomorrow morning, if only they had something to do tonight.
I've seen Top Gun scenes.
As the sailors are largely ignoring you three, it doesn't take you too long, really about an hour, to find a drunken sailor who gives you the location, who's heard of Glinda. Oh yeah. That's that. Yeah. I know who that is. That's that crazy old woman who lives in that ship turned home. I think, yeah, like over. He gives you directions. Yeah, she's a whack job. Some sort of like crazy inventor or something like that. You know, just a real weirdo, that one. Yeah.
That's what we've heard.
Yeah. The bartender or a waitress who like puts down a drink that you guys probably ordered for this person to kind of grease some wheels mentions, oh, Glinda, oh yeah, that Glinda's yeah, she always drinks she drinks the cheap stuff, but the strong cheap stuff. And he goes, luckily, with my new friends here, I don't have to drink the cheap stuff at all. Hey! And everyone else kind of looks at him like, "Why are you yelling?" But he doesn't seem to notice and just takes his drink. So, okay. So you're given the address. You're given the location for Glinda Girl. Do you choose to stick around here any longer, or do you choose to pursue that lead?
I would say pursue that lead, and we move there without being seen.
Okay. Okay, so you want to try to approach there without being seen. Now, are you trying to say you just want to move through the streets without being seen, or you want to stealthily approach this location?
I'm saying move through the streets without being seen.
Okay, so you just want to use your abilities.
Yeah.
Okay, done. And you find yourself standing outside of the location that you have been given. You see in this particular area of ship's towers ramshackle homes made of wood from old ships and inhabited by impoverished Sharn citizens kind of cluster around here. You see, you note that several of the buildings have been reduced to ash around here, but it's been. You remember hearing something about a fire at some point in the past year or so, and you see that there's some clear signs of rebuilding recently, but you primarily your attention is brought to. You see that there is this beached pirate ship. That's been turned into a tenement called you see the sign across it says Kraken's Folly, but you can see that there's like numerous lights around various like windows that have been made into the ship. So like I love this idea of like a tenement apartment made out of a ship. Just beyond that ship, you know that at the end of the dock the ship has been kind of moored onto and then built on. So, like, you get the ship and, like, built, like, outbuildings have been added on over the years. That Galinda's residence is, okay, just on the backside of it. Just on the backside.
So, her being an inventor might actually present an opportunity here. I think maybe if I approach her talking shop about, like, if she's into artifice, I might be able to approach her as a potential buyer for... those kinds of materials, if that's what she's offering.
All right, so...
And, as part of that, maybe I just, probe a little bit as to, any other things she might be selling or any customers she might have had recently.
So you take point, understand. Are we trying to understand if she knows Prince Kel? Or we're assuming.
I think we're just trying to get an idea of what she's selling.
All right.
Like, that Prince Kel would be interested in.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So you take point.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Not usually. Sorry, this is not usually my thing. This is exciting.
You do great. You do great.
Thanks. I will approach. I guess walking through the hollowed out corridor of the ship.
Well, you're kind of in the outside because you're moving towards actually around the back of it. My apologies, not inside her home.
Okay, so the homes are built inside the ship and
and also
to access them.
Built on the outside. The one
Okay.
that Sheila's on is at the very end of the dock. As you kind of take the directions at the very end of the dock, kind of an outcropping on the ship hangs out actually over the water, but like. The makeshift pier kind of also comes up to it. You see this ramshackle-looking shack, effectively. It doesn't look very large. You see some light coming from inside, and there's no sign or anything. This doesn't seem to be a place of business, or if it is, it doesn't advertise itself. You can see some lights, or I guess not really light because it's still sunlight out. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? You see smoke billowing from a chimney, and some various pipes kind of sticking out of it. And the smell of oil is very strong here.
Okay.
So like oil and smoke back here, and it's
Brock's gonna approach and knock on the door.
Okay. You hear the sound of like clattering from the inside, and you hear hold on. And you hear some more clattering, some things fall over, and then some other things fall over, some cursing from the inside. About a minute later, the door partially opens, and you see this wild-haired woman wearing a stained apron, like stained leather apron. She's got goggles on top of her head, and like her face is covered in soot and oil and grime. And she kind of opens her and goes.
Hey.
I don't want any.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Hi. We don't know each other, but
I know.
I understand that you're in the inventing business.
Yes.
I'm something of an inventor myself.
Are you now?
Yeah, I was hoping maybe we could compare notes. I'm actually looking for some materials for this project I'm working on.
What are you working on?
Well, so right now I'm working on this electromagnet, right? But what I need right now is...
Is that a Warforged?
Yes it is.
A real one?
Oh, yes.
I don't know. Are you real? Sticks, are you real?
I believe I'm real.
Well, what do you know? He's real.
Oh, that's amazing. The door opens. You can see she's standing there. She's about 5'6". And In one hand, she has a wrench with a gemstone embedded in it, and in the other hand, it's just free hand. She goes, she kind of points at you with the wrench. She goes, "I would love to take a look at you. What a rare opportunity. We don't get a lot of your type around here.
I do know that.
Electromagnets, you say?
Yeah, using a lightning shot as the power source.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a fantastic idea. Not really my area of expertise. But, well, you want, what, advice given? No,
Yeah,
what do you
I'm
expect
also-
fair notes?
Yeah, I'm also looking for, dragon shards, or if you know a good.
I can get you some dragon shots.
You can.
I'll trade you the Warforged for it.
Oh,
Whoa.
whoa.
I am not owned, ma'am.
Not yet.
Unfortunately, he is not for sale. Although,
Well, then why'd you...
He's a friend.
Everything's for sale.
No,
Ma'am.
he's a friend. Friend.
I am not.
Oh, yes. My wrench is a friend, too.
my
I got Sybaris. I got lines on Sybaris, Eberron, and Kyber. Shards.
Is there anything else you might be willing to trade for?
Do you have another Warforged?
Not with me. But I will look into maybe convincing one.
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe
I'll
we
co-
could go nimble right.
What?
We may have lines on nimble right.
I heard the words you said. I don't understand the words you said. Do you stand up straight? Would you?
I am. And then I guess
I thought you'd be.
Well, he
maybe
kind of looks
taller.
at it and goes, okay, and then he straightens his back.
As you do so, she immediately taps your shoulders with her wrench, did you see the lights get... Say what?
I grab the
You
wrench.
attempt
to
grab the
grab
wrench. You
Yeah, sorry, I
attempt
apologize.
to grab
yes.
the wrench.
I attempt.
So, sure.
But as she's actually touches him, he's like,
Go ahead
no.
and roll an opposed...
Yeah.
To disarm... you are going to make she's make a strength or dexterity saving throw against your maneuver DC or drop it.
Question.
Uh-huh.
And I can do that. Could I also use 2 exertion points and do the take weapon that I just did, and just to knock it out of her hands, which then she would do a strength roll against my maneuver DC instead.
Well, that's exactly
It's the
what
same
it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that-
it's just
yeah.
on, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the maneuver lets you do, but I will let you know that because it lets you damage her at the same time, right?
No.
Oh, okay. So let's take a look at this ability. That's great. What is it? Because that is how a disarm works. It's she makes a strength save against your maneuver ability. So what A5E what's this ability called?
It's take weapon.
Take weapon. They have to swing at you to do so.
Okay.
Yeah, it says they have to hit you. They have to swing at you. It's a disarm, but as a reaction. Either way,
Okay.
you're getting the same roll.
Okay,
so,
cool.
so she's gonna make she's gonna choose dexterity.
14.
To roll against yours. So. Okay.
I see what's coming.
Yeah. So she starts to go to tap it, and you just take it away from her, and she goes, "Oh, the reflexes. That's amazing."
And I hand her right back, and please do not hit me.
Oh, I wasn't. And she's like, I wasn't trying to hit you. It was just a little tap. Just so interesting. Fine. I can see that clearly you don't want to sell your Warforged to me. You're probably one of those. They're actually people types. I get it.
Well,
Fine.
I mean, I don't want to get on the wrong side of the law with this.
He's also
Oh,
a
With that.
Yeah, me neither.
We get each other for 15 more
He's a-
seconds.
Now, by the way, this is a common sentiment within Sharn.
Yeah.
Boronel's choice to Boronel's advocating for Warforged rights was not 100% accepted. Many people look at the Warforged as they were created specifically as supplemental soldiers. The fact that they were sentient was something that only recently really being understood, and really something that people don't that arcane scientists really don't fully understand how this possibly happened. So there's a lot of sentiment in this matter. That is not to say you should react to it as if it's normal.
Mhm.
Just letting you know that this is something I very I
It's
believe.
why he's not like freaking out at these sentiments,
Sure,
but he's
sure.
also like, that's not cool. But he's not like
Absolutely.
blowing the doors off because
Right,
of it.
right. She goes, fine. So you want to? Well, I'm in the middle of a project right now, but if you're looking for some dragon shards that have fallen off the back of a truck, I'm certain we can make some sort of deal. Come in. And she'll bring you inside. The customers. Let's see. As you walk in, you see that there's this big laboratory that's built in here. Big laboratory.
Absolutely, just looking around, taking it all in.
Yeah, what you notice here is there is this it's this ramshackle home. You see inside there's a unmade bed, but like that's like kind of surrounded in laboratory equipment.
Yeah.
And there's just like bed like in the little corner here. You see a small stove, a coat rack, a table, a stool, a stuffed chair that's in poor condition, wash basin, and a big wooden sea chest off kind of tucked back near the bed. But you see that most of what's alive in this room is all the alchemical equipment and various other tools like bubbling beakers and like a tiny forge that's like spitting out sparks and such. And she's kind of moving amongst these moving amongst all of this like kind of tweaking things as she's talking to you. So you're looking for dragon shards to power your items, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, and of course you wanted to keep it off the books, which is probably why you truly came here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know,
Can't hide
black
anything
markets
from
can't
you.
be black markets without a little bit of secrecy, right? Wonderful. And who did you say gave you my name again?
So I just mentioned that I was in the market for dragon shards at the beached whale down the pier.
Oh, the beached whale.
Yeah, and the bartender there like your name came up.
Yeah, most of the shards now are kind of difficult to pick up as they're for the most part spoken for by another entity,
Of
let's
course,
say.
of course.
But we could probably find a little bit at least for you. How much are you looking at in the market for? Give me a price range you're looking at.
Start at 100 to start with.
Oh, that's something I can certainly get you 100 gold pieces worth. Cyprus, Eberron, or Kuiper?
Remind me, Eberron are the ones that are typically bound to magic items, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Cyprus are involve dragon marks themselves, and then whereas Kuiper are usually
like
for binding souls.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which is not what I'm doing yet. Just Eberron shards is great. I mostly work with magic items. You see.
Oh, I see. Well, excellent. Good. Hey, why are you raising your hand? What do you
This is
need?
for DM.
Oh, what?
As he's having this conversation, that big chest drew Dee's attention. But she also wants to. I want to use my ability to sense secrets to see if there's.
We're gonna not chain things. So you're gonna because you mentioned two separate
I'm going to
things here.
sense secrets first.
Okay, so what does sense secrets do?
Sense secrets allows me to spend a minute observing an area, and if there are tricks, traps, secret doors, or other unusual features of non-magical nature within 30 feet of me, on an unobscured surface, you know something nearby is worth investigating.
This is non-magical secrets?
Non-magical. If features of a non-magical nature.
Okay, gotcha. So as they're talking, you're kind of like trying to like kind of get a feel for this place. Maybe there's a secret door. Maybe there's a hidden mechanical trap of some sort. What you overall like, other than that, there's a door kind of leading out of this workshop to somewhere else. There's really nothing else that's really kind of drawing your like raising your alarm bells.
Okay.
You do note that big chest has a lock on it.
Okay.
Has a big padlock on it. So, but overall, she doesn't seem to really be paying attention to that as she's really drawn in conversation with Brock here.
Mm-hmm. So
Eberron shards, is that what you said?
Yeah, that's
certainly
what
something we can do. And your friends all here, they're what, bodyguards are also potential buyers, perhaps?
Oh, I'm his intern, actually. My name's Amy.
Give a performance.
That is 14.
Amy, that's so great to hear. You a more grade student? You look like one.
Yes.
Sorority girl.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, clearly. All right. Well, you cannot talk anymore. You cannot talk anymore. Anyway, so wonderful. Well, so you want and who's are these people all about?
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard. Good. In this line of work, you're going to definitely need one. Of course, I can always provide one. Certain services. It's a whole thing. But you have your own bodyguard. That's fine. You're looking for shards. Yes! You look like you have something you want to say.
I'm just his business advisor.
Oh, that's fine. That's fair. All right.
She's also my bodyguard. She does. I know she doesn't cut a very imposing figure, but
She doesn't. But that's all right. It's the women who are the dangerous ones, the smart women, dear. Now, so you're looking for...
Okay, I adopt a vapid sort of... like it just goes over my head.
I'm gonna go over to oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's clearly bought into the whole like Amy. It's just like immediately written you off.
I'm wanting to seeing this interaction. I'm gonna go over to Amy, and I'm gonna be like, hey, why don't you try to distract her for me? To give me a sec to look into that chest over there. Knock something over. Seems like that would just...
Well, she seemed to be pretty... As you do that, you maybe you look over and you realize that she seems to be completely back enthralled with conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she seems very well distracted.
Oh, then I'm going to go and open the chest.
Wonderful. Okay, so go ahead and... So you're talking with her. Go ahead and get... you go and open the chest. There's a lock on it.
Mm-hmm, and I have lock.
Okay, so first give me a stealth check with advantage from the distraction.
16... 19 plus 2 plus...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She's not even paying attention to you at all. Great. So you get to the lock there.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to pick the lock.
Sounds good.
19 plus 4, 23 plus...
that you pop that padlock. Okay. Absolutely.
And then I open it.
Sounds good. As you open it, the top of the chest suddenly glows, and a rune etches suddenly really quickly appears, and then there's a bright flash of light.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then an explosion. As
we remember that things can be trapped.
As things can be magically trapped.
Boy.
Everybody in this room.
oh boy,
including her.
Everybody in this room needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
If you insist.
Ooh, I have advantage on this.
22.
I was just waiting. Or 15 even.
23.
11.
23.
It's right there.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
You picked that up a lot.
You ever read Explosive Runes, Jimmy? What does that sigil say?
28 points of damage if you did not succeed. If you did not get I believe it's a 15 or higher.
Woohoo! Oh boy.
Sweating bullets.
If you got the 15 or higher, you only take 14 points of damage.
Sweet.
Shit.
All right. So let me explain what happens here. So this kind of happens in I like to imagine a slow motion moment.
Yeah.
The rune starts to glow. There's a bright flash of light. You see her go, and the dragon starts to have oh no! And then suddenly the entire side of this, the entire wall and ceiling of the ramshackle hut just explodes outwards as fire just fills everywhere. A grenade has just gone off inside of this ramshackle hut. At this point, I like to imagine here that let's see. I love this.
I'm surprised
Definitely you.
Yeah,
Definitely you. Odd or even. It'd be odd if you didn't. Odd that you didn't. Yes. Yes. Yes, the floor beneath you has like it breaks away, and you guys are dumped into the Dagger River. The four of you are dumped into the Dagger River. You manage to like hold on to the portion of the floor that's still left, as most of the equipment just explodes out and dumps that into the river. As the smoke is clearing, you see that you are. You're standing on you're holding on maybe a piece of like a wooden pillars helping to keep the ceiling hold up. And you look across as the smoke is playing, and you see Galinda Garl holding a wrench, her eyes holding wrench, and you see first the bright light glowing off of the wrench, right? Like a kind of a bright green light, and the smoke starts to dissipate around her, and you see that half of her hair is smoldering, and she's got this wild look in her eyes as she's surveilling all that's happening. She turns to you and she turns to you and levels her wrench in your direction and says, "You shouldn't have fucking tried to steal from me, you dumb bitch!" As she points at Amy. And we're gonna go ahead and end there. Holy I don't relish it. I want to be super clear about this. Will does not enjoy calling people a dumb bitch. You create a vapid person. I want to be super clear that I'm not trying to be that kind of rude.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, you just blew up Galinda Garl's house.
Hey, the rogue did rogue things. What happens after that?
Very roguey.
Oh boy.
It's a giant chest. Interesting.
Oh no.
So okay, let's talk about this situation. Cassie, how is Adelaide? Who is playing the part of the vapid Amy?
Right.
Who we know is not dumb. How is Adelaide feeling about the situation?
I think there was a split second of oh good, I didn't fall into the river, and then oh fuck, I'm the only one left with a pissed off artificer. So I think it's calculating what to do next. And not really sure who this woman is or we still don't really understand how she played into Prince Kel's plans either.
Nope.
And unfortunately,
it's going to be a little tough to find that out in this fashion at this point.
Maybe what's in the chest fell in the river.
Maybe.
If it lasted through that.
So what you're
You're
saying
right.
is you shouldn't start the next session by going, "So I can't put you down as a source on my dissertation?"
That is a reference. Okay, how is Brock feeling about this situation?
This is a lot. On the one hand, it was nice to be able to talk to another inventor for a little bit. On the other hand, everything did just explode, and he did fall into the river, and it seems like that particular avenue is not going to be available to him anymore. So, but I mean, we kind of found out what she might have been, what use she might have been to Prince Kel if she's selling illicit dragon shards.
Well, she straight up said it. She black market, right?
She specifically mentioned black market, and is interested in the sale of Warforged apparently. So that's something.
She's black market inventor. How's RJ feeling about this?
One step forward, two steps back with these guys.
We
so good. And then between the interrogation and then this, he's like, "What happened? We were so good for it."
It's feast or famine with us.
Real feast or famine.
And the fact that she's still standing up there, I mean, at least if a bomb was going to go and blow all this stuff up, somebody like that should have gone with it. But she's still standing there, and he's like,
She is, and she was in the full brunt of that.
yeah.
and still standing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, that's probably ain't good. That's probably not good.
He's afraid he might end up being C3PO here soon.
Oh, no. that lady, I hope it was clear that this lady wanted to take you apart.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
She
Oh
was
no, it
gonna
really was. I was like,
Are you gonna like? Oh, she seems kind of like a racist. No, I think she's gonna harvest me for my organs, you guys.
Pretty soon, she's gonna have me in a cargo net carrying me around in parts.
Yeah.
It's not that she thinks me of lesser. She doesn't think I'm a person.
We're gonna skip over to Connor for a second. How are you thinking about this situation?
So this isn't the first time he's been in a building that's falling apart from an explosion. And you know, it's an experience I think you only happen once.
No.
And I like to imagine, like, as the blast is going off and the floor is coming out from underneath him and there's chaos, there's just a moment of, that's not how I expected today to go. Also, panic at, boom, bomb, fall, fuck. So, yeah, it's mind is kind of occupied by the literal bomb that just exploded.
It did. All right, well, lastly, we're going to talk to the woman of the hour. Sarah, how is Dee feeling about this situation?
Well, she all this keeps playing in her mind as she is just falling slowly back into the Dagger River is, God damn it, Lloyd was right again.
Wait, what did he say? I don't remember.
No, he gave, like, it's a generic,
yeah.
like, Lloyd's right, like,
Oh, yeah.
should have listened to Lloyd.
You
Explosive
said this would
rooms.
happen.
You never listen to me about the explosive
like,
rooms.
always check for traps.
I did. Magical traps exist. Magical traps exist.
You're gonna get caught one time.
Points to his half ear, his missing ear. All right. Well, hey, for those of you at home, thank you for joining us on episode 22, I suppose it was, of Besties and Besties, the Dark Lanterns of Sharn. If you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and hit that like button. If you enjoy what we're doing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Whether you do or not, we just really want to thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, Friday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time for our next episode. But until then, we'll see you
In el sótano.
Oh, what?
What?
I can speak Spanish.
Is that Spanish?
Oh,
Oh.
sweet.
What does it mean?
In the
Basement.
basement.
Yeah! Oh, you tricked me, you asshole!